Good afternoon and welcome to the principal news conference of GEM4ME Investments plc that took place on Monday, July 3rd of 2017. My name is Oleg Lipovetsky and I'll be translating on behalf of the Board of Directors. Valery Ostrikov speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I am happy to welcome everyone to our weekly news conference, and let's begin. As per tradition, let's begin with our GEM4ME news of this week. We have astonishing news to go over today, and today Natalia will not be participating in our conference due to the fact that we will be discussing essential details and important information, which is highly important for future development of our business. As always, let's start with the changes that happen internally within the Messenger itself. A lot of users have noted how much they like the new design of the Messenger for Android. The new version came out just a few moments ago. Firstly, in the chat settings, there is the option of backgrounds now. All the bugs in the financial plugin were resolved. Those who use it may have already noticed. Additionally, we introduced the ability to send up to 10 pictures simultaneously, as well as the option of adding comments to those pictures. The programmers have resolved the bug with voice messages, and the interface for settings of group and individual chats was changed. I hope that all of you appreciate these changes of quality regarding of how fast it functions, it becoming more user-friendly and well-designed. Our programmers are working constantly to make sure that the Messenger is of the utmost quality. Furthermore, what we are expecting later this week, we will change the settings for public chats, we will adjust the GEM4ME promotion bot, aka the rewards for installations will be issued not right away, but the day after if the new user sends at least one message, as we are continuously preventing fake installations, and this notion helps a lot. In addition, adding context from the Messenger by sending an invitation and the long-awaited web version is slightly delayed, as we're currently resolving the issue of including the financial plugin in the web version, as a lot of people use their laptops and the financial plugin is used for various financial purposes often. These are the news that we have today regarding the Messenger. Let's move on to the next topic, our business center. As of recently, due to the groundbreaking development and popularity of our projects around the world, the business center became available in 5 different languages: Russian, English, German, Japanese, and Korean. If the need is raised, we will also add Spanish and Italian, but as for now we have these 5 languages. A very important notion for today's conference. I want to congratulate our first shareholders who were transferred from the Seychelles company to the Maltese company. The document on this slide is the official example of how it looks. We've improved the technology of exchanging shares of the company in Seychelles to whole shares of the fund in Malta. Firstly, the shareholder signs a document that states that the shareholder owns certain amount of shares to his name, and every shareholder will be delivered such a document which needs to be signed, after which the shareholder is enlisted in the registry of shareholders of the Maltese Invest Fund. As soon as the shareholder is enlisted in the registry, the shareholder will receive an official document with signatures of the members of the board of directors, as well as a resolution number that provides ownership and proves the ownership of shares of our fund. To summarize, the shareholder receives all the necessary documents that prove his or her ownership of shares of the Maltese Fund. These are great news, as now we've mastered the technology of enlisting the shareholders, the process will be a lot faster. Each shareholder can request up to 2 documents to be sent to him. The 2 documents are a letter with the resolution number and the document stating that the fact that the shareholder was enlisted in the registry of shareholders. In addition, these documents can be obtained in electronic form as well, while the paper version will cost a certain amount. We will continue the process of enlisting more and more shareholders, and our legal team is working very hard, as they are very talented at what they are doing, as the process of enlisting in the registry of shareholders is extremely precise. Furthermore, at this time we are selling the shares of the Maltese Fund, and the shareholders of those shares will also be receiving such documents in the nearest time. Once again, I am congratulating everyone on this great aspect. And if there are any questions regarding this process, be sure to submit a request to our support service and our legal team will be happy to answer them in full depth. And now, I want to discuss with you why we are doing this type of business. As of today, people that are engaged in this type of business came to a very simple conclusion. The conclusion is as follows. Companies and large groups of people can be managed with the help of messengers. This is a groundbreaking technology. As you know, there are various channels for transmitting information, and in modern days, messengers are the channel with the most effective and fruitful results. What are we doing in our GEM4ME messenger that complies with this notion? We have public chats, we have the financial plugin, we have the marketplace, which is about to be unveiled in the nearest time. We have various channels for connecting with a large amount of people and delivering certain information to them. What is the reason for the messengers to be one of the most effective channels today? The answer is simple. Messengers are the only channel of information that is not disregarded today, unlike radio stations or social networks. That is the reason why we are creating a messenger. We are creating a messenger because it is the most actual and in-demand asset of the market for transferring information to people and promoting various businesses. There is a statistic that builds off of what I've just discussed in the previous slide. On average, people spend 200 minutes per week in messengers regardless of which messenger it is. 13 dialogues are engaged in 24 hours on average. This statistic is a great indicator for attracting the attention of any person in particular. People don't spend as much time watching TVs anymore. They don't spend as much time listening to the radio and on social networks. Us, as the entrepreneurs that we're building a business based off of a messenger, are trying to provide even more option for users within our messenger, apart from simple communication needs. Let me introduce you to the notion of all the money is in one chat. We communicated with a few financial institutions recently, and we came to the following conclusion. There are currencies that are issued by governments and currencies that are not. Blockchain currencies, for instance. There are a lot of various payment methods being developed in modern days. Those currencies that are built on the blockchain foundation or Bitcoin. What does this mean for our project? We are developing a financial plugin, and this financial plugin is actively working within the messenger, and we understand how fast new currencies emerge today. And in order for a user to use all the services within the messenger, it is necessary to create the options for the user to transfer funds through Bitcoin, the ability to exchange the Bitcoins to normal currencies, and vice versa. Therefore, we will reveal our innovation within the messenger where a user can not only transfer government currencies like euros and dollars, but also transfer blockchain currencies. However, the most important aspect is that those who have opened a Bitcoin wallet before know that it is not easy or not fast. Therefore, we decided to introduce a technology for exchanging Bitcoins for any other government-issued currencies very fast and securely. The so-called platform will do so. That is the meaning of all the monies in one chat notion. Firstly, it provides a great possibility for attracting a user base to the messenger. We are gradually gaining the organic users that are actively using our services within the messenger. It doesn't happen explosively fast. However, we are conducting the essential developments that allow us to look into the future with a lot of security, knowing that we are offering exclusive services to our users so that it is very convenient to use our messenger. We will cover this notion in more depth at our conference next week. In conclusion, I wanted to discuss a quote by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. I tell people when the world changes around you and when it changes against you. What used to be a tailwind is now a headwind. You have to lean into that figure and figure out what to do. Complaining is not a strategy. There are no ways to not stay in one place with the future other than adjusting oneself to it. Many people decide to look for ways to avoid doing work and instead to minimize their efforts while at the same time making sure that money keeps coming in. Unfortunately, there are no such easy ways out. The wind of changes always blows against you, and when these changes come, it is the absolute best to accept them. Understand and adjust oneself to these notions, as something needs to be done. Actions need to be made. Sitting back is not a strategy. The changes that are coming to our world should not scare anyone. The GEM4ME Messenger is the technology that allows all of you to adjust to the future. Thank you for your time today. I want for everyone to think about everything that I've covered today as I'm passing the word to Alexander Kuchanovsky, the member of the Board of Directors. Alexander Kuchanovsky speaking. Good afternoon, dear friends. We're continuing our weekly news conference as the great news are not done yet, and let's begin with our traditional part. As always, we start by congratulating our leaders of the week. These are our leaders from the week of July 10th through July 16th. The statistic is very interesting. As you can see, our leaders this week come from just 3 cities. Partners from Yekaterinburg, Russia, with earnings 1,000, 1,500 and 1,714 euros, 1 partner from Cherkasy, and finally 3 partners from Tokyo with earnings of 1,300, 4,400 and 6,000 euros in just 1 week. Our leader this week is from Tokyo, Japan, who earned 6,000 euros, which translates to almost 1,000 euros per day or 30,000 euros per month. I will introduce this partner to everyone later in this conference. It is not our usual tradition to reveal our top earning partners, but this partner does not mind. Another great notion that is coming to us from Japan is that all the partners that attended our recent event in Minsk had the chance to meet one of our Japanese leaders, Kaori Yoshida, who created the first Japanese website of GEM4ME, and those who are interested are welcome to check it out, and the link is provided on this slide. I wish you all to work just as hard and be successful, just like Kaori. Regarding the downloads through our GEM4ME promotion bot, we have the top 3 leaders that continue to lead our charts for installations. They are Larisa Tkachenko, who generated 283 installations and earned 127 euros from Kyzyl-Orda, Kazakhstan. Her sponsor is Alexander Sidarenko from Ukraine. Next, Anton Tupitsyn for his installations, and now he has 162 and earning 73 euros. And finally, Daniil Sokolov from Russia, sponsor Anisa Muhammadriarova, Alexander Potapov structure. Daniil made 53 installations and earned himself 24 euros. These are just the leaders on the list, as we have a lot more users who are under 50 euros, and I want to note that we have one partner in Japan as well, who is climbing up this ladder, as well as I will not be surprised to see him on this slide next week. As time passes, more and more people will see the effects and convenience in earning extra funds this way, especially given that our developers are about to reveal a platform that will allow other developers to showcase their applications with our bots for promotion, which will allow for more additional earnings for those who are using our promotion bot. Regarding the new addition to the rules for downloads to be counted, as soon as a person downloads the application and sends at least 1 message to another user, the person who referred the new user will see the installation and his well-earned reward the next day. This is due to our active fight against those who are trying to cheat the system by providing fake downloads. From other announcements of today, as many of you may have not heard about our wellness direction and gadgets, as we have big news to announce, but I will not elaborate about this in much detail, as the head of our wellness department, Alexei Lukin, will discuss these news on Tuesday, July 18th at 7 p.m. Moscow time. These will be very monetary and interesting news, so be sure to join the conference and learn about yet another way to generate earnings for yourself. In addition, on Wednesday, July 19th at 7 p.m. Moscow time, we will have the second part of the seminar from Dmitry Pavlov. We have the recordings of his first seminar, and this is in continuance of his first seminar. There are only a few days left before the training of GEM4ME partners. This training will be hosted by a very respectable person, a well-established businessman who taught more than 3,000 people and is the owner of the UCT group of companies. These are most of the greatest events that are happening this week. And now, let's move on to the traditional congratulatory part of the weekly conference, where we acknowledge those partners that work the hardest and attain new qualifications over the course of the week. Let's begin with our Silver Masters. As you can see, the geography is very widespread from the first step of our career ladder. Let's congratulate Olga Martinova from Perm, Russia, Galina Lemyoshkina from Perm, Russia, Bharat Karnani from Thane, India, Maria Ginsburg from United States, and Yelena Filatova from St. Jerome, Canada. I want to especially congratulate Bharat, our partner from India who attended our event in Minsk as well. He has achieved his first and most important step on his career ladder, and we are very happy for him. Next, Let's congratulate our Gold Masters, a more serious qualification which requires more precise work, and the partners are as follows. Nariko Ino from Japan, who receives 2 additional shares for speed. Iraide Kamniwa from Yekaterinburg, Russia, and Dorju Kular from Tuva, Russia. I'm sure that these partners will only increase their speed at attaining next qualifications. Next, let's move on to the Platinum Masters qualification. Tatiana Zuiva from Yekaterinburg, Russia, and Natalia Griva from Ontario, Canada. Congratulations to those partners as well. Our next qualification today is Silver Directors, as we don't have any Diamond Masters this week. However, we have the amazing congratulatory message to our partner from Osaka, Japan, whose name is Hiroko Niikura, who receives 10 additional shares for his speed because the Silver Director qualification, who is older than 60 years old, was achieved only over the course of 1 month. He started working only in the middle of June, and the earnings that he received recently of 6,000 euros in just 1 week. In just 1 month, he was able to achieve the Silver Master qualification, and if I'm correct, this is the fastest Silver Master qualification that we've ever had in our business. This is remarkable, and I want to remind everyone that 20 to 30% of all the information they have in Japan in English may be 10% in Japanese. We're working very hard to translate everything for them very promptly, and yet our partners in those countries are not just working, but are working so effectively that, as you may remember, last week we congratulated the same partner for earning 11,000 euros, and this week he earned 6,000 euros. His example is remarkable. I don't know much about him, but from what I've heard from this partner, has been working with networking business over the course of the past 10 years. But over the course of that time, he always wanted to join a highly technological business. He saw this notion in our company, and that is the reason he's earning such fast and big results. I hope he joins our top leader chat, as our English-speaking partners are about to surpass our Russian-speaking partners in their quantities. That is great. Everything is possible, and one has to simply want to attain one's goal. I also want to remind everyone that the month of July will soon come to an end, and those promotions, especially the Hot July promotion, won't last forever. The Hot July promotion, when the 10% from the price of every second package that is purchased is issued to the sponsor, I wish for everyone to take utmost advantage of it while it is offered, and I hope that it helps those who do take advantage of it completely with Mr. Nikura for the first place over the course of this week. These are very big earnings for sponsors. For instance, 10% from an invest package equals to 324 euros in addition to the standard bonus of 600 euros, which equals to almost 1,000 euros for one action. And the next promotion that I want to remind you about, it is very fresh and it was launched in the beginning of July, as it substitutes the bonus that used to be known as Club Bonus. However, the Leaders' bonus is much more serious and it is available starting the Silver Director qualification. It directly depends on the turnover of a group, and it goes all the way up to 6.5%, the highest tier, and it is a very large bonus from a turnover, what many are dreaming and are asking about. We estimated what such bonuses would equal to based off of our July turnovers, and it equals to approximately several thousand additional euros worth of bonus to our leaders per month. This is a very serious monetary bonus, and our programmers will finalize the visualization of this promotion over the course of this week in your business centers. You will be able to see your turnovers for the period of July, starting July 1st to the day that you are checking it on, and estimate your percent of the bonus. My last and very important announcement for this period of summer. Our top leader, Edward Vidko, is embarking on his Leaders' tour starting July 24th through the cities that you see on your slide here. July 24th and 25th, he will be in Perm. July 25th and 26th, he will be in Yekaterinburg. July 26th and 27th, Tumen. July 28th, Yekaterinburg. July 29th through July 31st, Ijevsk. August 1st, Kazan, August 2nd and 3rd, Almaty. As soon as there are any additional information regarding the times and places for where the events will be happening, we will let you know. as well as you can always contact the leaders that are head organizers in a particular city directly for more information. I myself will be in Yekaterinburg and will participate in Edward's tour. I am sure that this will lead us to new achievements and be ready for these events and get your teams ready. Continue working hard and keep coming closer to our big mutual goal, the creation of a highly attractive application with a lot of users in various countries of the world and finding a buyer that will be willing to buy our application for a very notable price. Of course, this will not happen on its own, and we will be able to achieve it only by continuing working very hard towards our mutual goal. We are always happy to answer any questions you may have, and our support service is always there for your needs. Good luck to everyone, and keep your goals in your minds at all times.